चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। यस्यान्तानादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णानुभवति पुरुषो नानुपुंसं न च स्त्रीनाकारं नाविकारं न हि जननि मरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं नो तत्त्वं तत्त्वमेकं सहज समरसं सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि। I offer my namaskaras to Sanatana Dharma, Shankaracharya and all my gurus. I welcome you all for this English Atma Jnana sessions. We have come long way. Introduction to Vedanta, we have done what all the introduction and the Vedanta and all, we have done about 15 classes, I think. After that, we came to sadhanas. So in that sadhana, we have taken Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana, Patanjali's. So in that Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana, we have completed yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. After that, we have gone to another sadhana called Sadhana Chatushtaya by Shankaracharya. In that we have seen Viveka, Vairagya. What is Viveka and Vairagya we have seen. And also Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, that is Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. And also lastly we have seen Mumukshutva. The Mumukshutva class, there is some disturbance, people they said. And also I also could not record it. Probably some other day I may take up Mumukshutva once again and record it so that the video can complete the Sadhana Chatushtaya. After completing the Sadhana Chatushtaya, we are going back again to Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga. I could have completed all the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga and then started the Sadhana Chatushtaya. But Sadhana Chatushtaya, what all we have learned, is necessary to know and practice before understanding meditation and Samadhi. So that's why I stopped in between and then gone to Sadhana Chatushtaya and then coming back to now on to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there are 8 limbs are there. So in that 8 limbs, we have completed yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. These all called 5 sadhanas are called Bahiranga Sadhana. So you are coming from external world to your body and mind, body, mind, and your senses and all those things. Like that, your journey, you have started addressing the external world in yama and niyama, and then coming to asana, pranayama is your annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha. So you are going to bring it. In the third level, manomaya kosha, you are going to bring it into your control. Annamaya kosha, the body control will be brought in the asana. That body posture means how to sit and all those things, probably for a longer time. So those are all keeping fit the body and flexible the body and all those things. Asana. Pranayama is the breath. That breath, how it has to go and come in and all those things. There are different pranayamas and all. I have already spoken. So now that is Annamaya Kosha, we are going to do that. From there, we are coming to the Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha, Pancha Koshas, and this is the third Kosha, third layer of our personality. So after the Manomaya Kosha, it is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. So that after that, it is called as Anandamaya Kosha. So that anyway, in the Atmajnana, all the koshas will be Pancha Kosha. So Pancha Kosha, all the details will be studied and they will be explained also. Each kosha will be explained. So now only basically you should know this Antaranga Yoga, Bahiranga Yoga means what. So Patanjali, why he has called first 5 as Bahiranga Yoga, the last 3 as Antaranga Yoga. So Antaranga Yoga is almost coming to mind, Manomaya Kosha, the third layer, and connecting the Samadhi is connecting to the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So after that the journey starts and liberation, if we work for that, then we will be in Anandamaya Kosha. Bahiranga Yoga we have seen already. Now we are coming to Antaranga Yoga. Antaranga Yoga is in this 6th position, it is there, 6th limb is called Dharana. Dharana is in the 6th step, it is called Antaranga Yoga. In the Antaranga Yoga, there are 3 steps together, it is called as Antaranga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi put together is called Antaranga Yoga, means internal yoga. You can't do by using your hand or limbs, all these things you can't do. Even including your prana and all, you are not able to make this Antaranga Yoga. So this Antaranga Yoga can be done by Dharana, by the mind. And from the mind, the meditation and the Samadhi, Dhyana and Samadhi has to be achieved. So that's why all these 3 put together, it is called as Antaranga Yoga. So 8 limbs of this one, all the yoga, Ashtanga Yoga is giving us knowledge to lead a purposeful life. So primarily in the beginning, it is world related connections, that is yama and niyama. So primary ethical teachings will be taught in that. So second, so the later in the dharana, the 6th stage is focusing on internal concepts and internally mind concepts and internally meditation concepts and samadhi concepts. So that is how it is going step by step. So dharana means what? Dharana is nothing but concentration. So the goal of dharana is bind your consciousness. That is, you have to bring your consciousness to one particular object or one particular place or one particular idea. So it is focusing on a particular object, place or idea. So like that it has to be, that is the objective of dharana. So focusing your attention from one thing, on attention on one thing, what it will happen is it will quieten your mind. So that is the when you do the focusing object, your mind is wandering daily. In a second, it goes all over the world and comes back. But when you start learning dharana, your mind will be becoming quiet. It is not running away here and there and all those things. So closing off the path of other thoughts. So all the thoughts will be cut and then you will be going deep into dharana. So we have to, every step, whatever we have earlier learned, 1 to 5, is the building block for the next step. For example, yama is the step when you learn, it will be helping the next step of niyama, like that asana and pranayama, pratyahara is building the preparatory steps to come to dharana. So every step is important. It is a preparatory step. So meditation is based on the 7th step and samadhi is on this one. So pratyahara, in the last class we have seen, pratyahara means a sensory withdrawal. So we have 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas are there. So gradually we are withdrawing. That means wherever it is working on its own, so we are telling it to work on whatever we have specified object. So for the eyes, you will say, you see here. Don't see wherever you want to. For your ears also, you will say. So you listen to this. So like that, you make a practice in pratyahara. All the sensory organs will be withdrawn from the outside world. So that is why now it is called Antaranga Yoga. Normally all the sensory organs, all senses, the Pancha Jnanendriya and Pancha Karmendriya, Dasha Indriyas, it goes without our knowledge wherever it wants to go. So when you bring it back, it is called pratyahara. So otherwise it is eating its own food, that is ahara. So you are giving an alternate food, that is pratyahara. That is why it is called as pratyahara. So up to that we have seen, dharana is withdrawal of mind. Earlier pratyahara is sensory withdrawal. Now dharana is withdrawal of mind. From where? The mind is, if you are not attending, it goes all over the world and comes back. So now you are making an effort to withdraw. It's a regular field of activity. Otherwise mind goes 1 minute here, 1 minute there, 1 minute somewhere and all those things, it is there. So now you are bringing on to your control. Mind bring withdrawal from the so many various activities it is doing. So you will train the mind to look into only one aspect. So that is what dharana. According to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, only one line he has sent. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Desha means in the Sanskrit a chosen object. A chosen object. Bandha means fixing. So now chittasya is the mind. So all the three put together it is called as dharana. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. That is the sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutras is one. Patanjali has written a sutra for dharana is Desha bandha chittasya dharana. So that means dharana means, now we can, in English if you want to say, so we are fixing our mind on a chosen object before going hit for meditation. So that is the dharana. So dharana is the preparatory step for meditation. So without fixing and without focusing effort of the mind, you cannot sit for meditation, dhyana. So dhyana basic step is dharana. So we have to very clearly, we have to make a demarcation. The demarcation is the mind withdrawal. So pratyahara is sense withdrawal, sensory withdrawal. So here mind withdrawal, dharana. So everything mind has to be fixed on one object. In order to fix it on one object, we have to pull from all the other objects. Otherwise, mind is going to all other objects. For example, I have a wristwatch. I want to see the time. So my eyes and attention, everything, wherever it is going. So everything I stop and then bring it onto my wrist and see the watch time. That means all my eyes also here, and hearing also it may be there, and mind is also here. So mind up till now it is doing so many things. When I want to see a watch, it is a focusing object. When I want to focus, mind has to stop doing all the other activity and compulsorily it has to come and see the watch. So this is forcibly what we are doing is we are cutting down from the external world and bringing to the required field of attention. We have to fixing or focusing on the object. So focusing on an object means we have to naturally, the opposite of focusing is we are attending so many things, turning away from the world, turning away from the all other objects of what it is doing. So there are two things is happening in dharana. So when I am focusing, I am turning away, I am disconnecting from the other objects of the world. So whatever I wanted that object, to that only it has to concentrate. To that only it has to focus. So this is not an easy job. It is a difficult exercise. It is not easily can be achieved. But we have to practice. Without practice, it will not come. Our mind has got lot of preoccupations. So it will be having daily morning to evening. For example, if you are a grihastha, your first is husband role you have to do. And if your father is there, son role you have to do. You have a son means you have to become a father role you have to do. Your daughter is there. So your relationship has to go there. Parents has to maintain. And so many things, so many roles. And also in the office, you have a lot of subordinates are there, lot of bosses are there. In business, lot of connections, stakeholders are there. So there are a lot of relationship the mind is managing. And when mind is managing so much of relationship, one after another, the mind undergoes for stress and strain. That is the reason for stress and strain. You wanted this relationship or this activity should go in this fashion, but it is everything is not in our control. It goes out of control, then stress or strain will come. And since you are jumping into so many activities at a time, so there also stress and strain will come. So these are all we call it as preoccupations. The moment you sit, what happens? One or the other relationship will come to your mind. So then how can you sit for meditation? So when you sit for meditation without defocusing all these things and start focusing on your mind, without doing that, if you start sitting for meditation, you may be doing beti dhyana, athwa business dhyana, money dhyana, husband dhyana, wife dhyana. So like that, so many other dhyanas will happen other than the real meditation, what has to be done. So that means you have to get disconnected from the preoccupation. So that has to be done by practice. It is not said and done. I have told my mind, you have to disconnect from tomorrow, it will achieve. No, it is not possible. So that is why it is called sadhana. You have to take away your mind from all other fields is a toughest job. So this is basic requirement for meditation. So without doing this dharana, if you sit for meditation, you are not doing a successful meditation. So very importantly, we have to do is focusing on a given field. Desha, bandha, jesha, bandha, Chittasya Dharana. So Desha Bandha on a given field we are going to do on that. So, but we always say it is difficult to focus on a given object, but many of the time we are very good focusing masters. Good attention is there. If that much concentration if you have, you can succeed in meditation. So if that much concentration if you achieve on the dharana on a given field of given object, so now you have already cultivated on the other objects. Now the same cultivation what you have done, seeing a cricket match or something, your interesting thing, similar way you have to, that is also you have cultivated. So in meditation, we are trying to create and stabilize the relationship with the God. The God is universal consciousness. So my individual consciousness has to merge with the universal consciousness. That means I am stabilizing my consciousness and also getting in merging with the universal consciousness. We call in Sanskrit it as called as Ishvara. So we are merging. Chetana will be merging into Paramatma. Jivatma merging into Paramatma. So has to happen. So this role is nothing but Bhakta and Ishvara relationship. In a TV serial, we don't have any relationship. We are making our own relationship. Serial, dialogues or story, all those things I am getting binded. But in the consciousness, you don't have so much of attraction. The universal consciousness, Paramatma, to get attached, you don't have so much of interest. That's why they are made in Puranas lot of stories in order to get absorbed in the Purana, so that after absorbing in the Purana, you can itihasa, you can slowly understand the God and then you focus on God. But going to Purana and all, you can't go and make such a elaborate this one. So without going directly, you have to understand what is God. And God is nothing but consciousness, the universal consciousness. That is that we are going to teach in Atmajnana. In Bhagavad Gita also we have taught you what is God in the 10th chapter and the 11th chapter, Vibhuthi Yoga, and also the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. In Vibhuthi Yoga, we have learnt God is in everything. So in ant is also God is there, in elephant is also God is there, tree also God is there. Everything is, in everything God is there. So that is the Vibhuthi Yoga. In order to see how God, you have to see God means I have a Shankha Chakra Gada Hasta, Vishnu only is my God, Vinayaka is only my God. So Eka Rupa to Aneka Rupa you have to transform. So that is what Bhagavad Gita says in the 10th chapter. So Eka Rupa means your own God. So you are expanding, your mountain is God, rivers are God, plants are God, trees are God, animals are God, and everything next thing another human being is also God. So now the God Swarupa has changed. So everything is God. So that is the Vibhuti Yoga it talks about. The 11th chapter, it starts in the other way. Whatever you are seeing in the world, everything is already in Paramatma. So Paramatma is in everything is called Vibhuti Yoga, but everything is in Paramatma, it is called as Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. So when you understand this way, you can maintain a relationship with God. So with God, meditation practice we are doing is to go to moksha, get liberated, enlightened and all those things. So for that moksha means we have to understand the universal consciousness. The God is nothing but universal consciousness. So in Vedanta, God is called Paramatma, Ishvara, Brahma, all those things it is called. It is Brahman means it is not Chaturmukha Brahma. Brahman is the supreme consciousness. So All other gods like Ishvara, Vishnu, Parvati and all these things is only the basic level of your knowledge. But when you come to higher level of God knowledge, so this is called Ishvara, Brahman and all those things, universal consciousness. When you start understanding that, and you also understand in Atma Jnana, you are also a small consciousness. A small consciousness should merge with the large consciousness, universal consciousness. That is, the merging is called as moksha. So when you are merging, this is the process it is taking is dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So from there you have to do the study, the Vedanta knowledge, study about your Atma, and then Atma and Paramatma, everything you study, and then you will going to merge. So that is what it says. In Dharana, you have to do that. So Dharana is that. Whereas Vedanta says, why we have to maintain so many relationships? Already I have so much relationship. What is the necessity to maintain a relationship with God? According to Vedanta, the Sanatana Dharma, it says, in upon all the relationship for a grihastha, the husband and wife relationship is the highest relationship. So that is the long lasting relationship, very sacred relationship. So that is the maximum length of time a husband and wife relationship is there. So that is the highest relationship. So whereas parents, our parents relationship, it cannot be last longer because they are becoming older. They will go earlier than us, sooner from the leave the world sooner or later. So the relationship with children also lasts only until they study and grow up and find their job and get married, and they will go. When they grow up, they will have their own interests. Once they married, they are committed to their own spouse and children. So once the older generation also gone and the younger generation also gone, who are left? Only husband and wife is left. Ultimately, they have to look at each other throughout the remaining part of life. So that is why Vedanta or Sanatana Dharma says husband-wife relationship is the only relationship which starts very early and runs up to the death. Even our marriages, we are making a kasam or promising each other until death we will be together. Until death we will be together. So that is what we are saying the mantra, and that is teaching. So the husband and wife relationship is very stable and the longest relationship we have to understand. All other relationship will come and go. Friends relationship will go, neighbors relationship will go, office relationship, colleague relationship, everything will go. Even brother sister relationship, everything will go. Not so deep like this one is there. So what is the advantage and disadvantages of this husband and wife relationship? So disadvantages are, if you are not maintaining the relationship, if you have strain, it is going to be eternal headache for you. So that is the only disadvantage is there. Whereas the advantage part, what it says is, if you have a stable relationship and you will have a psychological balance will be there, and the husband or wife should not take the relationship as granted. It should not be taken the relationship as casual, taken it as granted. So you have to give importance and you have to nourish it and retain it. It is just like growing in a pot. When you are growing a flower plant, how much care you are taking, nutrition, all the things you are taking care. Similarly, the relationship, husband and wife relationship has to be maintained and nourished, then only it becomes a good relationship. Husband and wife relationship also is not permanent because one of us will go early. So husband and wife relationship also can get into sour or strain because if we are criticizing each other, disrespecting each other, then the relationship will become stale and becomes not bearable. So that is why Vedanta says that relationship you have to maintain with all love and care. So each other you have to spend time at least after the retirement and after everybody has gone. So husband in one corner, wife in one corner, that will not work. You have to spend a lot of time, and because only two of you are there, you have to see and share your knowledge and share your this one feelings, and then your bonding will become good. That is what Vedanta says. So naturally, this relationship also, whatever may be a good relationship we have maintained, it has got its own limitations. Because husband and wife never born together. Even if they are born together also, they cannot go together in most of the cases. So that means this is vulnerable for every husband and wife. So Shastra says, so when that is the knowledge you have, one of us will go, and then where is the other relationship? So that is what Vedanta says. You have to bring in another type of relationship without any limitations. So that is the relationship with the God. The relationship with the God is universal consciousness, understanding the universal consciousness. So that is called Atma Jnana and Paramatma Jnana. Jnana, not dhyana. Atma Jnana and Paramatma, Atma knowledge and Paramatma knowledge. So we have to start learning, and then only we can coin a good relationship with the God, which is not going to cut off. Till my death, this relationship will be there. Even in the next birth also, this relationship will be there. So you have to invoke and nourish the relationship with the God. This is simultaneously you have to do. So whenever you start early, that would be better. That is what it says. So there are two things you have to do to nourish. Systematic scriptural study has to be done. It is one of the important thing to maintain relationship with God. It is one of the important systematic scriptural study is important. Because what is the God existence, in what nature of the God, what is the function of the God and all, where it comes, it will not come in library books. It comes in the Vedanta books only. That is also Prasthanatraya, Veda, Upanishads. From there only the real God nature, real existence of the God, real functions of the God, everything will be come to know. Unless you know all these three things, you cannot create a bondage. Unless you know this properly, you are superficially creating a bondage of the God. So I love Vishnu, I know Krishna, I have this idol only, that idol only, along with that I am maintaining a relationship. So that is not a good relationship. So you have to understand by the scripture what is the nature of God, existence of God and functions of God. After understanding that, you can really maintain a very healthy and good relationship possible. So that is what scripture says. So that is the importantly we have to work for that. Everybody has to try as early as possible. So we have to give some time spending exclusively to invoke relationship with God. So Kaivalya Upanishad, it says at least 24 hours you cannot become a sannyasi. At least when you want to do puja, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So 20 minutes you forget all the other relationship, at least tie a relationship with the God. So that is how you have to start. After that, unknowingly you will be continuously having a relationship with the God. This has to be done. So in order to know God, who has to tell you? Guru has to tell. That means you have to invoke Guru also, invoke scriptures also, and then you are getting connected with the God. So invoke Guru, Shastra and Ishvara is the ultimately you are going to get connected. So whenever you are invoking or started working on the relationship with the God, so at that point of time, you are not a husband, you are not a father, you are not a mother, you are not a wife. So you are a bhakta and you are going to relate with the God. So that is the at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You should become not a husband, not a wife, not a this one. Like that has to be done. So that is the methodology we have to get into dharana. Dharana is a one-pointed focusedness because on an average every day we get around 60 to 70,000 thoughts on every day. So you will feel that so much of thoughts are there. That's why your head is becoming hot and you are getting stressed. So it is called in Vedanta, it is called as monkey minds. You know monkey what it is doing? It will go from one tree to another tree, jumping one branch to another branch, and not even 1 second it is keeping idle. Either it is scratching the head, scratching the back, or jumping or doing something and making the face in a different methodology, and all those things it is doing like a monkey chase time. So our mind is also continuously doing monkey chase time. They are doing it. So we have to bring it into a dharana. Dharana means focusing the concentration. Dha means holding and maintaining. Dha in the Sanskrit is called as dha means holding or maintaining. Arana is other or something else. So that means if you are not holding your attention of the mind will go wander all over the world. But dharana means you are bringing that attention to required area. So that is what it says. So if you say pratyahara teaches you to withdraw the sensory organs from external to internal, dharana teaches you to the mind from outside world to internal world. Internally it is coming. So it is looks to be difficult, but it can be done by practice. So another thing you should know is, sir, so many thoughts are there in my mind. Can I empty it? So I can say stop, no thoughts should come. Like that it is possible. It is very difficult. So mind emptying is difficult. Instead of emptying, it cannot collecting so many things. You can ask them to collect what you want. Instead of collecting all unwanted thoughts, you can start collecting the wanted thoughts. So wanted thought is relationship with God. The focusing is with the God and other things has to be done. So what has to be done in the absorbed way, we have to make it. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. It is very, very possible. So most of the time we are getting absorbed. We are also giving undivided attention. For example, when you are watching a sunset, you have forgotten whom you are, your wife also you have forgotten, children also you have forgotten. You are totally absorbed in the sunset. And also the time has just gone, like 1 hour has gone. You thought only 5 minutes you are observing the sunset. And where you were there, you don't know. So all of a sudden, the whole body, mind, everything is absorbed in the beautiful sunset. Similarly, when you are working on the garden, you may be doing so much of planting or weeding, de-weeding and all those things. So there also you may get, even in kitchen, some people when they are cooking, they are much absorbed. Or when you are playing with a newborn babies, and newborn baby watching, it will be just like that, it will be watching 1 hour, 2 hours playing and watching the smile and the shaking of the limbs and all those things. When you start watching, hours will go like this. Mothers will know that. So the time is not sufficient at all. So the time will go just like that. That means our mind knows how to absorb. But our job is now to make it to the good relationship with the universal consciousness. Towards that, because we are not practiced it, we are not given training to it, it becomes a difficult, looks to be difficult. But when you start practicing, it will not be difficult. And we have to very beautifully and we have to do. So for that, Vedanta also physically how to make it. So there is a methodology, physical methods are there. One is called Trataka. Trataka is fixing the eyes on a visualization. For example, you are putting a dartboard or a concentric circle on a wall and you are focusing the center dot. So that means your mind and eyes and everything will be focusing onto the dartboard center. So thereby another 20 minutes your focus will be onto that. So that is one method it is suggesting. One is called Trataka. So other method they are suggesting is observing the breathing. The breathing observation means breathing we are not observing at all. Voluntarily it is happening. See, normally what happens if a healthy man is there without any stress or strain, the natural tendency of our prana, this is Ida, this is Pingala, this is Surya, this is Chandra, the nostrils are there. So every 1 hour, the breathing will be starting from this and coming from this. So after 1 hour, it changes from the left to right and right to left. So this is happening without our knowledge. But when you start focusing on this, these are all the things you are going to observe. And the breathing also, normally we are all doing only chest level breathing. But the natural way of breathing is when the breathing in happens, your stomach and navel button has to come up. And when you are exhaling, your stomach and navel button should go down. So that is the normal and correct breathing practice. So most of us, we are not going into the stomach at all. We are doing shallow breathing. And that's why our breathing per minute is increasing by 15 to 20 breathings we are doing. If you start breathing with the stomach and when you're continuously making the practice on that, so in a minute you will be breathing only 6 times. That means one breathing, inhaling and exhaling will last for 10 seconds. And ordinarily it will become 10 seconds breathing, one cycle. So in a minute, you are going to make only 6 cycles. Today, if you observe yourself, you are making 15 to 20 cycles. Thereby, your energy is getting wasted. So, you are not able to focus because of that. So, in order to make dharana, first one they are talking is Trataka. Candle also, the burning candle or lamp, also the flame tip will be watched. That is called Trataka. The second one is observing the breathing. When you are observing the breathing, the stomach and the belly button, the navel button has to be observed. So that is how it is coming up, how it is going down. Inhale and exhale. Also, you are able to observe when the air is going in, it is cool. When the air is going out, it is hot. So that feeling and sensation you are able to observe means you are already into dharana. So you are already practicing good dharanas. So there is another method is the vibration of the mantra. Continuous mantra with a rhythmic chanting will give you the focusing. It will help you to focus. So all these 3 things also can help you to practice dharana. That is what they are talking also. So the science behind the dharana, I will talk to you on the end. So you have to understand that these methods has been given in the texts and the scriptures. So focusing not from outside, focusing on the inside. Your mind you are turning inward. You are taking a U-turn. From the external world to internal world, you are taking a U-turn, your mind. So for this, dharana helps you to take U-turn. So one-pointed focused concentration, it cannot happen by itself. You need intention. Your intention should be to gain good meditation practice and good relaxation. So all those things has to happen means, so that intention should be towards relaxation, intention should be towards mind focusing. So then only this dharana will happen. So you need to have patience, also you need to have practice continuously. So if you are not doing this, urgently nothing can be achieved. So there are practice of dharana will be done in the theoretically, the 5 steps are there for that. So we will go one by one. Dharana versus dhyana I wanted to tell, but I will tell when the time permits at the end, for probably. At least we will go through what is dharana in that scientifically, what is Patanjali is telling, what is the other area it is, informations are given. That one we'll see that. There are 4 types of concentration, they are all telling. The 4 stages of concentration, how the concentration will graduate from one level to another level. In the beginning level, for example, LKG, UKG, like that, you are going to become graduate and master graduate and doctorate. So your school level is there, university level is there, and PhD level is there. Like that, some different levels are there. So here also 4 levels only you are going to achieve dharana. So from the most physical to most subtle, that means invisible level, the physical level to invisible level you are traveling. So thereby from the physical level of dharana to increased in the concentration to the subtler and subtlest object is the subtlest is mind is there. So up to that we will be doing one by one. So that is the stages we are going to approach. So that is how dharana is practiced. So you don't know, when you start practicing, your mind is going from one stage to another stage. So it will deepen your power of concentration. It is progressive stages. The first stage is called as vitarka. Vitarka means concentration focuses on a solid or tangible object, it says. So what is tangible objects? Like breath may be there, senses may be there, visualizations means dartboard may be there, candle may be there, mantras may be there, or one thought like nama japa and whatever it is there, like that. It will be there. The second one is called vichara method. First is vitarka method. The second one is called vichara method. The vitarka method is the gross, that is not very subtle, not sukshma. It is the gross methodology of concentrating on the gross objects, outside worldly objects you are doing it. Vichara is slightly subtle. Subtle means sukshma compared to gross. The concentration here, what are the things it will be taught is, you observe your prana, because our prana runs in 72,000 nadis are there. The nadis are not continuous pipelines are not, but it is an invisible pipeline. It is not visible pipeline. When you make a human anatomy or dissection, you can't see the nadis. But nadis only is the carrier of prana. The prana means the oxygen has to be carried to every cell of our body. Then only oxygen, the cell can survive. If the cell is not supplied oxygen for a given period of time, the cell dies. So continuous oxygen supply has to happen. That continuous oxygen supply happens through 72,000 nadis. So in that main 3 nadis are there. From the base of our root, backside spinal cord, at starting point between hips. From there it starts. So one is called Ida, another one is called Pingala. So in the center in between is there one big nadi is there. That is called Sushumna nadi. So it is just like a snake it curls a bit among the Sushumna Nadi. Sushumna Nadi, around that it will be making a curving like that. So curving and coming up to the head, Sahasrara. So what is doing, wherever the curving happens, when the two things are joining, intersection happens, no? Ida and Pingala intersects. At that point of time, there are chakras are available. The chakras are 7 chakras are there. There are so many other chakras are there. There are 7 main chakras are there. The bottom one near the spinal cord, it is called as Mooladhara chakra. So that is the starting point of the Ida, Pingala and Sushumna Nadi. So from there it goes up, and this Ida and Pingala, it crosses on each other. It is just like it is a creeper, no? On a plant you are making a flower creeper. So it holds somewhere like this. It goes like a bent spiral type it goes. So even the Ida Nadi goes like a spiral, and the Pingala Nadi also goes like a spiral. Spiral around what? It is on the Sushumna Nadi, center Nadi. So when the spiral is intersecting, so those intersecting points are called as chakra. This is also not possible to see by your science and this one. So, but this is very deep. Chakras are energy centers. The Mooladhara chakra is in the beginning of the spinal cord is there. And then Ida and Pingala crosses at one point, that is called Swadhisthana. Mooladhara to Swadhisthana, just below the navel cord. So it intersects. Ida and Pingala intersects there. That one chakra, second chakra is formed. That formed chakra is called as Swadhisthana chakra. Then near the navel cord, once again intersection happens. That is called Manipura chakra. These 3 chakras are called basic level chakras. Most of us, we live only here. Adhyatma starts only when you get into the next chakra. Because here, the food, shelter, security and sex, all these things only, these are all interested. These 3 chakras are interested only in this. Emotions, relationship like with sex, all these things are this root, this basic chakras are there. Om, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. So these 3 is in the Gayatri mantra also said. These are all towards the lower chakras, low energy points. So from there we have to uplift the energy. Otherwise it will get wasted in these 3 chakras. So as you learn more and more knowledge, so you can push the energy towards the next chakra is at the heart chakra. The Ida and Pingala, the Nadi crosses, intersects. There is one heart chakra is formed, that is called in Sanskrit Anahata chakra. Anahata is, it is not a sound is formed. Anahata, without banging, sound is happening. Nothing is banging. So if you want to have a sound, a clap means 2 things has to bang each other. Anahata means hatha is no hatha, no banging. Without banging, there is a sound is created here. So that is the life force. So here the Anahata is the 4th chakra is there. You have to rise there. Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha Mahaha. So here it comes Janaha is called Vishuddha chakra. Here again Ida Pingala crosses, the spiral crosses. One more chakra is formed. This is called Vishuddha chakra. And then it comes to Agya chakra here in between the eyebrow. The Ida and Pingala Nadi goes there. And at the top it is called as Sahasrara chakra. So Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agya and Sahasrara. So this is how the chakras goes up. The energy goes up. So in dharana, it is told you have to practice concentrating either on prana, or also you can talk, you also can concentrate on chakra also. So each chakra you can concentrate, And then the chakra itself is a big theory. I will talk sometime else after Atmajnana starts. Chakra needs about 4-5 classes. Details of chakra, what it is, and all those things. Anyway, now only this much you know that, because dharana needs on focusing on what you have to do. Externally, you are focused on this candle light and all the dot board, all those things. Whereas now you are coming to internally your prana, that is the breath, how it is moving and all, you can concentrate. And also chakras, another this one they are also saying is pancha vayus are there. So pancha vayu means, so though we breathe one time, the oxygen is going there, our lungs has got 5 chambers. Right side lung has got 3 chambers, left side lung has got 2 chambers. Totally 5 chambers are there. These 5 chambers are managing digestive system, reproductory system, circulatory system, sensory system, all the muscle system, so many systems. It is maintaining individually. So these are all pancha pranas, it is called as prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These pancha pranas are there. This pancha prana also I am going to talk in the Atmajnana class. So that is also a very big subject. All these pancha pranas also you can concentrate. That means your dharana can be on the pancha prana, or maybe on the chakras, maybe on the prana, vayus, like that it can be done. So your mind comes to very quickly comes to concentration. It will not get disturbed. So it will be very quickly you can focus. That is the possibilities are there. So that is what Vedanta says. These are all internal concentration, that is called vichara method. First is vitarka method. The second method is vichara method. That is what I have been telling, that vitarka is concentrating on subtle things. The prana you can't see, chakras you can't see, vayus you cannot see. So you have to learn those knowledge. What is chakra, what is prana, what is vayu. Then it comes to your visibility, internal visibility it comes. Then you can focus easily. Whereas externally seeing a candle, your eyes will get strained. So your headache you may get, or the dartboard you want to see, tears may come. All other things can happen. Whereas internally when you start focusing, your mind will become very quickly focusable thing. So that is the second methodology. The third one is Ananda. Ananda, focusing on Ananda itself. Ananda is not our joy, fun and all those things. I eat a jamun, all the joy or fun or whatever thrill is there, kick is there, that has got 3 things. One is the starting point of the joy, and the continuation part of the joy, and the ending part of the joy. So this is not Ananda. Ananda is eternal. There is no starting adi antya, adyantika sukha, adyantika ananda. Not, there is no starting point, there is no beginning point, there is no end point. Ananda is continuously, the bliss is available. The child sleeping, the child up to 3 years, it doesn't need anything to become happy. Automatically it is happy. Simply it is happy. So only for crying it will happen, something is biting, something uncomfortable physically, or or it is hungry, only it will cry. Otherwise it is always happy. We have forgotten that state because of our unwanted thought processes. That Ananda we have to get back. So that is the third methodology. So we have to concentrate on such Ananda. All other Ananda what we are having is, I like this item. When I get that item, I will have joy. Joy is short-lived. If you want to buy a car, the car buying stage is starting point is there. After buying, you are having a ownership of 1 year or something like that. After that, the joy subdues. It is not remaining. So you go for another new object. So like that, even jamun means starting point is there. Go and buy a ticket in the hotel. Or after that you have a jamun and see it, appreciate it, and then put it in your tongue and then swallow. After that, gone. After that, when you go out of the hotel, so you have forgotten the jamun and the joy also gone. So we are wasting our energy into going to such type of joy, pleasure, sensual pleasures, all those things. Whereas Vedanta teaches you the bliss. Eternal bliss comes from the jnana, atma jnana, and knowing all internal things. So with that eternal bliss will come. Atma jnana gives you ananda. So we have to learn that and focus on that. That is dharana, the third stage of dharana. It takes you from the outer world to the internal world to the extreme internal world of ananda it takes. Finally, what happens? You will be absent. That is the fourth stage. Asmita. The Asmita stage dharana comes. That means there is no ego will be there. I am absent in all the things and I am focusing on my pure consciousness. I become a mere witness. For example, mere witness is Sakshi Bhava, Sakshi Chaitanya, it is called as. For example, we don't know how to witness. So for anything we see, immediately my mind will say it is good or bad. So it is like this, immediately judgment will happen. So from the past experience it will judge and it will say it is good or bad, it is less or more. Like that only it says you are not making any witness. Witness cannot change objects of quality. Whereas we are doing with our past, these are all subtle matters what I am talking, you should be able to follow. It is difficult, but you have to do. Now onwards, the things will become subtle. So in future, in Atma Jnana and all, still subtle will become. Very, very great things are there. So you will be understanding, then you will be very happy. So Asmita means you are forgetting yourself. Like in the, for example, sunset when you are watching, who is Srinivasa Prasad is not watching. Srinivasa Prasad sat, body is there, but Srinivasa Prasad mind is also not watching. So his Atma Chaitanya is watching the sunset. So it is merged along with that. That's why you feel so much happy, so much bliss experience is coming. So that is possible to practice. So that is called Vedanta. We have to learn towards that. So Dharana is having the four stages. It takes us from one stage to another. Vitarka, Vichara, Ananda, Asmita. All the four stages. When you practice and progress, you will be going to on those four stages. So it gives you the building capacity to focus. Otherwise, mind wanders from one object to another and you are not having any concentration. So awareness. So we are unaware. Today, because attention means we are giving mind giving a lot of attention also gives you headache. So your attention should become natural way. The natural way of becoming attention is called dharana. So you are not putting any effort. Effortlessly you should have concentration. So initially to do that we have to put effort. But after practicing, effortlessly you can concentrate. Today when you are doing, if you have become an expert cook, you are doing effortlessly all the cooking. So otherwise a new person who comes to the kitchen, who doesn't know this one, even making a coffee itself is a project, 2 hours she will take. Whereas you may be doing simultaneously breakfast, dinner, lunch, all the things, so many about 8, 10 varieties automatically you are doing. On a single stove, 4 things you are keeping. One on rice, one on the sweet, another one sour, or one puriyal or something palya. So everything what for that either I have put the salt, for that I have put the sugar. So everything you know, you are focused, you are so much focused. So dharana, without effort you are doing it. So our mind has the capability to focus without any effort. Initially practice is to be done. After that it becomes effortless. Dharana becomes effortless, then you are going to do good meditation. So meditation basic step is you have to do. So dharana commitment to focus the mind on one breath or mantra or sensation or something like that when you go. For example, dharana, when you are doing in your tap, something is leaking. So drop by drop water is leaking. So when you observe to see that drop by drop leaking is happening, so all of a sudden you will see the stream of water. It is not by drop. So you are able to connect all the drops and a stream of water. The stream of water is going in the tap, like that it is the concentration comes. So that is what it has happened. So dharana level, drop by drop you are watching. When your practice happens, you become to promote it to dhyana, the meditation level. In meditation level, you are not seeing the droplets, you are seeing the stream. That is the very times, whatever the time is happening, without any flow obstruction, it is happening. So that is what we have to learn. So dharana means essentially focusing on that. So these are all very, very important topics are there. What is the benefit of dharana? Many people who practice dharana, they say it helps us to improve my memory in a normal, our social life, our worldly affairs. It is going to help you to improve your memory power, and it is also reduces your stress and strain, and also it brings down your negative thoughts also. So dharana itself, when you start practicing dharana itself, these are all the benefits is going to come. Your attention focus, when it is improving, your breathing also improves, and your asana sitting position also improves. So thereby, normally when you stand, you can see people after 1 minute, they shift their weight onto one leg. So after that, another one leg. So that's why they cannot stand long time. Whereas when you practice dharana, you are not going to shift. In the military people, no, morning to evening 8 hours, they are standing on 2 legs. They are equally putting pressure, equally putting weight. So without their knowledge, so that is dharana. Like that, that is also will happen. Our asana will improve, our breathing will improve. So that is also additional benefit of the dharana. When your mindset is improved, your concentration is improved, your productivity in daily life also is improved. So you are relaxed all the times and you need not do rework. So because coffee, when it is prepared right first time, that means the color, composition, taste, sugar, heat and the volume, everything is done beautifully, and then it becomes a beautiful coffee. Otherwise, you will be mixing the milk after some point of time, and then again you are putting sugar, again you are putting decoction, you are adjusting. So that means you don't have any focus. So the dharana, if it increases, all the job what you do becomes perfect. So you are a successful person even in this modern world. Even in this competitive world also you become successful. That's why Patanjali Yoga Sutra, when you start practicing, not only the spiritual growth happens, even external growth also in the same world you are going to become succeeding. So with this dharana I have completed. Next we will be talking on the dhyana. Meditation, lot of meditations are there. So 112 varieties of meditations are given in Shiva Parvati Samvada. So Shiva Parvati Samvada is one of the text is available. In that 112 varieties of meditations are done. But among all, what are important basic science is there. I am going to talk on the basic science of the meditation. So I will be talking about 6 to 7 meditation techniques. So all the 112 is one, it will be within the 6 only. So the basic science for 112, these 6 centralized things are there. I am going to talk about that in detailedly. So please wait for that class, next class. With this today I am going to conclude. Dharana is focusing our mind from a given field. So it is going to unwanted field. So you are bringing and giving a work and In a given field, it has to focus. So that is called dharana. It is initially it looks to be difficult. So once you practice, it becomes automatic. Without your effort, you are able to do dharana. So this is a very important preliminary step for meditation. So that's why Patanjali has not mixed dharana and dhyana together. He has separately said dharana, he has separately said dhyana. So that's why, so it is better to know. So we'll class continue in the next, this one. I don't want to start today meditation. So meditation class will be next week. I will be doing on that. It's very interesting. Please everybody attend that. So I conclude my today's session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.